This guy is the best writer in comic books right now, and he just received 5 Eisner nominations for 3 of his books that he's writing across 3 different publishers. 1, that's absolute insanity. 2, when you actually look into who he is as a person, you would not think that he would be where he is right now. He doesn't have the background that probably most comic book writers have. My man studied molecular biology, went to med school, even did some medical training overseas, and decided to leave it all to write comic books. Now, he started off small at some small publishers, but it wasn't until Jonathan Hickman suggested that Deniz Camp write the Ultimates in the new Ultimate Universe at Marvel. Now, I covered the Ultimates and why I love it and why it was one of the comic runs that turned me into a comic lover and reader for life in this video right here, but I'm still gonna talk about it just a little bit more because I don't think that, that I can't not. The Ultimates, oh boy, I feel like I'm doing a magic trick right now. Pick a book, any book. The Ultimates is set in an alternate universe than the normal Marvel universe that you're used to, basically. Our heroes are reimagined and the world has been taken over by an authoritarian ruler, the Maker, along with his kind of factions, kind of controlling the entire world. He's remade the universe into what he wants it to be, and it again is this totalitarian, authoritarian, fascist kind of rule. And as we're going through all of this, we're basically seeing the themes of what can we do as heroes that are trying to fight against this government, this overall power, this overarching power, just kind of hidden behind superheroes. As I'm reading each of these issues, obviously things are different, but Deniz Camp is basically writing the playbook for us in the real world to fight against fascism. And I don't even think that he like planned that to happen. Of course, how and why would he want to plan that to happen, right? I mean, you wouldn't want fascism to take over the world, but basically as the real world is unfolding, he's like, oh, well, let's write about this. It parallels, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely loved it. I also love the different reimagining of characters. Like Vision was this robot who went back in time and, you know, disguised himself as the original Human Torch and, you know, kind of set things in motion for the future. There are just so many good things about the Ultimates that I am so sad that it's ending, although the ending, in my opinion, is kind of, I don't think Camp was really planning it to end, and Marvel was like, we're gonna cut it. Bruh. While it's great that Deniz can like put his final touches on it and like truly have it end, I'm not sure this is how he planned it on ending. It's, I think, being rushed a little bit, in my opinion. But I don't want that to sway you from reading it. What do you think of books? Do you like books? No. The next book that I think makes Deniz Camp the best writer in comics right now is right here. Assorted Crisis Events via Image Comics. The artist on this is Zawadzki. This is an anthology of issues, so you don't need to read one issue to understand the next. The whole premise of this book is time is going crazy and really no one understands why. We're getting cavemen kind of walking through regular time. We're getting Victorian debutantes walking into cell phone stores. We've got World War IV soldiers having a drink at the corner bar, and each issue follows a singular person or kind of like a group of people and kind of just them navigating through the crisis. Now, each issue has a theme, and I think one of the best things that Camp does in this book and the next book that we're gonna talk about really focuses on human emotion and really kind of like mental health aspect, but really things that everyday people go through and experience. He goes over the themes of grief, poverty, displacement, the everyday grind and hustle of just like 9-to-5 jobs, being exploited, just all of these things that may or may not apply to you. But I feel like as a person, you're probably going to experience at least one of these things. So you can really feel kind of like what is happening in these issues. Now, there are other issues that have come out of this, by the way. I'm not sure how many have come out. I've only read the first 5 issues, which is what's in this trade paperback. I can't wait for the second one to come out. I haven't picked up the single ones because at this point, I just kind of want to collect them all and just read it all at once. I think it was like issue 7 or 8 of this. I saw tons of people sharing it online. It's like literally one of the single best comic issues they had ever read. That just goes to show you the depth of this book. Just to give you like a brief overview of each of these, the first issue in this book deals with this girl who's like living again in a post-apocalyptic world, and she is trying to get this clock fixed that is the only thing that she has left from her parents who have died. She's like stuck in this loop of trying to get it fixed, but she can't. The second story is just like, it follows a broken kind of like timeline of like a father and then a son, and the son is repeating the same thing that the father did. It's probably one of the most brutal issues I've ever read because it takes place in like a slaughterhouse. And I think that's a theme throughout all of these, is that we as humans live in these loops. Despite basically trying to break free of them, we as humans keep doing and repeating the same things over and over and over again. Issue 4 deals with like time flying by, and like personally, as a dad of now a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, like it's crazy to me that time has gone by so quickly. The art in it by Zawadzki has kind of this very like indie kind of comic style feel, but it's also like really grounded. I cannot recommend this book enough, which leads us into the next one. Yes, absolute Martian Manhunter. This is via DC Comics. Again, obviously by Deniz with art by Javier Rodriguez. This book, again, is almost, I think, completely finished. It's only going for 12 issues. I think originally it was supposed to be 6 issues, but because of the demand of like pre-ordering, they're like, oh, we need to push even more issues for this. This book alone, not all for Deniz, but this book alone has gotten 6 Eisner nominations, the most of any single book this year at the Eisners. I mean, if that doesn't say something, I don't know what else does. This is Absolute Universe. From my understanding, I know not very much about DC Comics, but this is a completely separate universe than like the standard DC universe. I don't know what it's called. This book is like a noir style superhero psychological thriller. The basic premise of this book is an FBI agent, John Jones, survived an explosion. He's the only survivor, and the reason why he survived is because an alien called the Martian has fused with his psyche. Some of the themes in this book are like connection versus isolationism, kind of like what we're seeing in the real world. Like people want us to be separated because they're trying to stoke fear of people against other groups of people, which is completely unnecessary. So like in this story, that's like the white Martian, whereas the green Martian, the one who is attached to John, can see and feel other people's feelings and thoughts. So John feels them too. And so like you're empathetic, you can kind of see what that person's going through, and you're literally being able to like walk in their shoes and feel what they're feeling almost. We have like the cost of obsession. Like John is so obsessed with saving this new city that he's living in and all of these things that are like he's kind of seeing in real time happen across his city. But he does that at the cost of, you know, not spending time with his wife and his son. The art in this by Rodriguez, he like tries so many different things in terms of like different panel layouts. There are like this, I gotta find the pages. I gotta find them, hold on. Like look at this page. This is the last page. Look at this. Look at this page right here. But like they tell you to hold it up. Hold on, I don't want to hurt my book. You can kind of maybe see it through the light. I don't know if we can. I gotta set this up somewhere else. Look at that, that's so cool. But the art in this is so good, so inventive, and like, I mean, look at this, look at that. Like that is not standard. That's not standard art style. Not even close. Not even close. 5 Eisner nominations across these 3 very wildly different books. If that is not enough right now to tell you that Deniz is one of the best comic writers right now, if you're not reading anything that he's reading, I highly suggest you go do it. Who do you think is the best writer in comics right now? Let me know down below. Is there someone that I'm missing? Is there someone that I should be reading as well? If you want to dive deeper and see the 5 comic runs that made me a comic lover and reader, you can check this video out right here. And until the next video, pick up a comic, pick up a book, support your local comic shop and bookstore, and read something.